We can talk about that, and we can talk about who was recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We can kind of segue
Oh,
into each
right.
other,
Okay.
because I was gonna. Now that you came up with that topic, I was wondering: do you think that the internet has influence as to who gets inducted into the R&R Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame? Do you think, like, if it were just actual physical votes going through, like if there were no internet, and let's say people had to call in or write in
Hmm.
their votes, do you think it would be different? Do you think as many people would be interested in doing an actual physical act as dialing a phone or mailing in a ballot, if you will?
What do you think?
Um, I would definitely. I feel like the variety would be different
Right.
if there were no internet. I think it would just be pretty much hardcore rock and roll people that were being inducted as opposed to people who had like great musical influence. That's just my take on it. Like I feel like, okay, let's cut to let's say 1985 if you will, some rock and roll Hall of Fame people, like let's say if Little Richard were being inducted,
Hmm.
he would be inducted. Chubby Checker, who just got inducted this year. Chubby Checker, those people from pre rock and roll days, early rock and roll days, they would all be inducted. I don't think acts like, I'm not sure if Salt and Pepper, if it were like back then, I don't know if there would be so much variety, even though Salt and Pepper is like one of the best hip hop acts of all time. They've got 15 million
Right.
records sold. They've got like I think like 10 top 10 hits, Billboard hits.
That's interesting. But they came out also. They came out before the internet was really big. But
Right.
you're saying as far as the modern day of who's getting
Yeah.
inducted, you're saying
Yeah,
what
we
is the
had
effect of the internet on
Outkast.
that?
Right, like Outkast this year, Salt and Pepper. I think they would definitely go into a music hall of fame for sure if this were back then.
Well, that's a whole other conversation. I think of the conversation of what is rock and roll.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because wow,
Yeah.
okay. Now you got my wheels turning here.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder about the variety because I'm not. There's no snub to Outkast as opposed to how much they've influenced music and
Yeah.
the hard work they've put in and how great their music is. There's no doubt about that. And even Salt and Pepper, I mean, they were my heroes for a long time.
Right.
So there's no doubt about it. But I just wonder if this were like, yeah, early rock and roll Hall of Fame days, if non rock and roll acts would be inducted. Because in my mind, you don't have to be a rock and roll artist to be a rock star, as
Well,
far as I'm
that's see,
concerned.
that's what I was about to say. I think this goes to how do you define rock? Because if you're defining, because we've talked about this many times, like punk rock and hip hop are like the same exact thing.
Hmm.
So it's like, if you're saying rock, are you talking about a blues-based form of music with electric guitars, or are you talking about an attitude? Or are you talking about a style?
Right.
You know what I mean? If that is your definition of rock, then yeah, then the variety is obviously going to be a lot higher than if you're like, oh, well, to be a rocker, you have to play guitar and there has to be bass and drums. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think the real question is, how do you even define rock and roll? Because how do you really
Interesting.
define anything, like as far as art is concerned? I mean, there's always blurring lines in between genres of any art, whether you're talking about music, painting, like, well, what is a classical painting versus a Renaissance painting versus an Impressionist painting? Like, there's always overlap. It's never this, or this. Like
Yeah.
any good artist is going to be taking in multiple influences and creating a new thing with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I
that's
wonder
yeah.
I wonder if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sees it as such as well. Like if they see these people as rock stars as opposed to rock and roll artists, and that's why they're just inducting them like that, with so much variety. I mean, we had NWA a couple years ago or last year, I can't really remember.
It's funny you said that just now because in my head when we were talking about this, I'm like, who's not a rocker but is definitely a rock star was definitely Ice Cube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that yeah, yeah. So it's like, I guess you know what? What is their actual like definition? Like, hold on. Well, first
Or,
of all, let's go through. Actually, first of all, let's do an intro. So, well, thanks, guys. Welcome back to Music Maniacs with Side After Dark. We are Side After Dark, and this is the podcast where we talk about music, and we just so happen to be maniacs about it. So we're talking about the 2025 rock and roll inductees. So let's just list them out first of all. And then we'll
this is a pretty fun list.
So number one, I guess, this is in alphabetical order, I guess. We got Bad Company,
Woo!
who I know Sifa is a big fan of. We got Chubby Checker.
Come on, baby.
We got Cyndi Lauper.
Woo, girls, just... Well, y'all know.
No, you got to sing a song for everybody now. You started it.
Okay,
You can't discriminate, okay? We got Joe Cocker.
Bow a little
Help from my friends. We got Outkast.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh.
We got Soundgarden.
A black hole sun, won't you come?
And the White Stripes.
Fell in love with a
girl. Well, this is an interesting list because I feel like what we were talking about, it goes along with what we're talking about, because so Chubby Checker was like an old school influence that definitely influenced what you would call rock and roll as far as the musical style.
Yeah.
Right, but then you keep going on. It's like I wouldn't consider Outkast a rock band, even though "Bombs Over Baghdad" was pretty much a rock song. Mm-hmm. But they were definitely rock stars. Like Andre 3000 and Big Boy are rock stars, man. Like I don't care what you say. And then I mean, like Soundgarden and the White Stripes are clearly rock. So I mean, that's not even really like I wouldn't think Cyndi Lauper either, though. To be fair,
yeah,
as
I
a
would
rock
think of
and
her
roll Hall of Famer, she's like I think of her more as like a pop
star.
singer, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the word rock does seep into other forms of music. I mean, rappers definitely talk about rocking the stage or rocking the mic, you know.
Right.
It definitely hip hop is a rock and roll derivative or bastard child, if you will.
Their parents were married.
Not at all.
Well, I'm trying to find an actual definition of what they're going for here. Mm-hmm. But so it says, okay, so let's keep going with, so it says 2025 inductees, performers is who we just listed. Mm-hmm. And it said, celebrating the iconic artists who have created music whose originality, impact, and influence has changed the course of rock and roll. So in that definition, it sounds like they're talking about the musical style of rock and roll. So I guess you could say, so this would be my thought process of that, is that Outkast definitely influenced other musicians after them, including rock and roll musicians.
Yeah. Yes. I can see Outkast influencing Ren.
Yeah, I can see Outkast influencing a lot of people. I mean,
Post Malone. Yeah.
Post Malone. You could even say like, depending on what era, you could say like Linkin Park. Maybe, you know what I mean? If you really want to go crazy, you could say like Limp Bizkit. But I definitely see them like, yeah, because music crosses borders, right? So it would be crazy for like somebody coming up in a rock band to be like, oh, well, I can't listen to Outkast because they're not a rock band.
Right.
And I can't be influenced by Outkast because they're not a rock and roll band. Like that would be crazy. And there definitely are people in rock that have been influenced by them. And I think that goes for any of the people on this list now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I agree.
So that makes sense. That definition kind of does make sense now that we talk it through. Okay, but to continue. Okay, so there was multiple categories of inductees, right? So that was the performer category. Next is the musical influence category. This award acknowledges artists which is weird that they would have it separate, I think. But this award acknowledges artists whose music and performance style have directly influenced, inspired, and evolved rock and roll and music impacting culture. That's interesting because that's not says rock and roll. That's rock and roll and music. Mm-hmm. Which also is a weird way to say that. Like rock and roll is not music. But anyway, the inductees in this category, it's just a feeling, man. And this is where Salt and Peppa come in, and Warren Zevon. Actually, I don't really know who Warren Zevon is.
Werewolves of London.
Oh, sick. Okay.
I saw a werewolf standing at Trader Vic's, and his hair was perfect.
Is that a line from the song?
That's the end of the song. It's insane.
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, you gotta listen to the words. Okay. But
We'll get back to that. We'll do a reaction maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Ooh,
But
next
why?
week.
First
That's
of
gonna
all,
be my
why
pick.
is this? Okay, wait. So there's performer, and then there's musical influence. So what are they saying that Salt and Peppa and Warren were more influential for their style and their performance than for the music itself? Is that what they're saying? Because I think
It
it's strange that
seems
they would have
like,
a separation between performer and musical influence.
yeah, it seems like that's what they're saying, and I can believe that. I've never necessarily needed to hear another song from Warren Zevon or Zevon. I don't know how to say his last name, but I can tell you, I never skip that werewolf song when it comes on a playlist or when it comes on driving down the
Yeah.
road. And that's all I need to hear from him to know that that guy is the man. Like, he, in my book, doesn't need to make, he's like the aha of other things. He doesn't need to make another song. Like, that was cool enough.
He did it. He did the thing, man.
That's what I feel like. It's just the weirdest words. It's like I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand. Like, it's just like, why?
Do werewolves eat people, right?
Yes, they
Or
do,
no?
and yeah, and livestock. Yeah, I
Is
don't know why
that
they're always
having
half
a
dressed.
werewolf? Oh, because they were humans and they grew out of their clothes, but half of the clothes stayed on, I guess. I
Can't
don't
they
know.
just take it all off? Like, why is it partially on? It always looks funny. I was like, why is he always dressed?
Look, okay. We live in a culture that thinks that nudity is the worst thing that could possibly happen, okay? So if you're going to eat people and livestock, whatever, but you better not be naked while you're doing it. That's where a good Christian country crosses the line, okay?
Draws the
We're not
line.
gonna we're not gonna put up with that here. All right.
Yeah, and I remember first paying attention to the end of the song when he says his hair was perfect. Just remember how they always draw the werewolf, and I'm like, yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was. And that werewolf was such an influence on style that in 2026 it will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's ridiculously funny. It's just crazy how good it is, but it's
Well,
just like we could have lived without it, but we still need it.
I mean, technically, you could say that about all rock and roll. No,
That's
we
true.
could have lived without it, but our lives are better with Led Zeppelin in it.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. And style wise, Salt and Peppa, yeah, I mean, they were definitely before my hangout time, but I remember looking back, me and my friends looking back at their old videos, and we were like, we were born in the wrong time. They had these asymmetrical cuts, they had these jackets with the big S and the
jackets.
P in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, like everything
The
they
jackets
did
were
was the coolest, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And I heard that Play from Kid and Play designed all their stuff,
Oh, really? I didn't
which
know
is
that.
insane. Yeah, I didn't know that. Who is
Why wasn't
also,
he inducted?
I don't know, but he's
What's up with
Martin
that?
Lawrence's cousin?
Really?
I found that out too. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, right.
There's
Queens. Shout out to your
more-
dad.
Shout out to Queens. I don't know if he reps the Queens or Bronx more, to be honest.
Hey, man. It's all
Whatever,
good.
it is what it is. There's another category, musical excellence.
Okay.
This award recognizes individuals who have dedicated their lives to crafting influential, important music infused with originality, achieving a level of timeless distinction.
Well, that definitely went to Diddy. I just heard the word excellence and I figured, he
Oh my
must be
God.
involved.
I was not ready for that. I was not expecting that. That was good. So the first one, and I'm actually really excited to see this. The first inductee for musical excellence is Carol Kay.
Woo! Dun, 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 dun.
For you guys that don't know, pretty much every famous bass line you've ever heard from the 60s and 70s was probably played by Carol Kay.
Good
So shout out
for
to
you.
Carol Kay.
A hero.
Next we have Nicky Hopkins, who
I should know this.
classically trained session pianist who brought his musical ingenuity to over 250 albums, including classics from the Stones, The Who, The Kinks, The Beatles, and Joe Cocker.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen this name in my head. I said that.
I've seen this name, and I don't have the picture up, but his face looks familiar.
Shout out to Nicky Hopkins. Thank you for your service.
And
These are
then-
the musical vets.
And then we got Tom Bell, Thom.
No, what a cool name.
Jamaican-born, Philadelphia-raised producer, arranger, and songwriter, was a key architect of the Philly sound.
But.
Okay, so he produced the Delphonics and the Stylistics.
Oh, that's amazing.
crafted
Tom
lush
Bell.
orchestral arrangements and inventive vocals and rhythms for his songs.
A
Okay,
musician named Tom Bell. How poetic.
right? And then there's one other inductee. I don't know what this means. The Ahmet Erdogan Award. I don't know who Ahmet Erdogan is, but maybe we should look him up. He sounds
Yes.
Turkish.
Yes. No. He owned which record company? It's the big one. Amit, the record
CBS?
man. Yes. Is it him?
I have no idea. I guess that.
It's a big one. Is it Aris? Is it Atlantic? No. It's a big one though. Amit. Everybody knows him. From all the music movies.
Everybody
I swear.
knows.
Amit, and it's the way. I don't know. Say that name again. I don't know if he's Turkish.
You want me to spell it? I feel like he's Turkish. I don't know why, but
Swedish.
I don't think so. Do you want me to spell it?
Yeah.
Ahmetertegun.
Erdogan.
Egun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, that's him. I see the guy. Yeah. What's the record company? And he is Turkish. Dan. Atlantic. It is Atlantic.
I was right. Okay. Well, this is who the award was named after. This wasn't the inductee.
Okay.
The award is given to artists, musicians, songwriters, and producers whose originality and influence have had a dramatic impact on music. So the winner of the Ahmet Erdogan Award this year was Lenny Waronker, producer, label president, A&R head, and tastemaker, who pioneered the artist-first approach in the music business, prioritizing creativity and development over quick financial returns and commercial hits. He redefined the role of the record label, shaping DreamWorks and Warner Brothers into musician-friendly collaborative havens, significantly responsible for the careers of Randy Newman, Ricky Lee Jones, REM, and Prince.
Whoa.
Okay.
We've covered
Nice.
everybody except for REM on this channel.
Wow, that's true. I never even thought about that. What do you think REM stands for?
It's that thing, isn't it? That sound?
No, it's redundant energy mechanics. That's what I've decided that it means. What about you? What was the other thing we were going to talk about besides this? Because we ended up just going straight into the Rock and Roll and the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah. How does the internet affect? Yeah, well, it was your topic into my topic. It was how.
Okay, yeah, and then we just kept going.
Yeah. Would there be that much variety if the internet weren't involved?
Okay, I think I know how to bring this all back. So when we started talking about the Rock and Roll inductees, and we were talking about kind of like how we think maybe would the inductees have been different in a pre-internet day, you know, we were kind of talking about just in general how much the internet has affected music since it's come about. And it's kind of insane. I mean, the internet completely changed everything about society, really. I mean, the internet's probably the most impactful invention on society since definitely the Industrial Revolution. Maybe even since people learned how to farm.
We're virtually farming now.
What did you say? You broke up a little bit.
We're virtually farming now.
What are we farming?
New opportunities in cyberspace.
There you go. Wow, you just sounded like a tech CEO.
You didn't know my other job? Dun, dun, dun.
If we're still doing this, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I lost my train of thought. I pulled it up station.
It's the biggest revolution since.
Yeah, internet. The internet, right? The thing that we're talking to you on right now. It's kind of crazy how much of an impact it had on music because for so many reasons, not only in the way that music is distributed. Obviously, before you had to go physically pick up a record or CD or whatever it may be. And then slowly that just completely changed. I remember, it first started with the Napster and LimeWire when you were just be illegally downloading songs.
Yep.
And now it's who buys a physical? And this is coming from us. We're in a band. I don't remember the last time I bought a physical piece of music.
Not a new one. Not at all.
No, yeah, exactly. I would buy a vinyl because it looks cool, but I don't even usually listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a collector's item. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, the internet has greatly changed the way that music is distributed, but then it's also changed the way sometimes that music is created and the way that music spreads, right? Because not only can you hear music from wherever without having to pick something up, you can also discover new music from anywhere in the world without having to go there.
Yeah. And
Right?
it's also increased artism, if you will, because you're selling yourself on the internet. You're no longer
There's a
just a
joke somewhere on
musician.
autism, but I couldn't think of it fast enough.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so
Sorry.
now you have to become a product slash work of art, if you will, however you want to see it, however your brain is wired. You're either going to see yourself as a product, work of art, but you have to present yourself. Somebody like Prince, do you think he would really, his talent would definitely make him make it in the music world,
Mhm.
but in the internet world, he was more of a guy that liked to stay to himself. He didn't want to have a whole bunch of conversations and sell himself verbally all the time.
I think that the level of talent that he was at, I don't think it would have mattered, and I'll tell you why. Just because of Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, think about how big and famous that he got, and I don't know if I've ever even seen him do an interview. He's like a mad introvert. He doesn't even Prince. He at least had like a physical style that was really interesting. Like
Hmm.
if you could just see if he only put out a music video once a year and you never saw him before, you'd be like, this is a cool looking dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
think I think in the end he still would have won out.
Well,
But
yeah, when I think about it too, because he already kind of was doing that internet stuff. He sold himself through movies, his own movies. Duh,
mhm,
Sifa.
yeah,
And through producing other artists as well. Like, oh, you could tell Prince wrote
yeah,
that. Like, yeah.
yeah,
All right, bad
yeah. So
example.
I don't think I think anyone with at that level of talent would break through regardless. I just think it's interesting how like we were talking in the last podcast how the way that like punk rock became more popular throughout the world was that the Ramones, who started in New York, went to England, and then everybody in England that saw them pretty much started a band, and then they started going other places. So the way that you would discover new bands is like they would have to come to town. Like they would have to
Yeah.
like the Ramones existed before. You know what I mean? But if that album wasn't in the store in whatever town you were in the UK, you would have had no idea about this whole punk rock thing at all. So I think that's
That's so
interesting. Like
true.
that barrier has completely disappeared. Like we can
Hmm.
hear like I know people that live here that are obsessed with Korean artists. You know what I mean? Like that never could have happened before. Like that's so far from here. Like you would have
Yes.
to go to like some kind of specialty record store to find a Korean vinyl. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you would have had
Yeah.
to really go out of your way.
Yeah. Something that like that would only happen through like a trade agreement or war or something like that. Some soldier went over and brought back
Or
some
both.
records or yeah, or both exactly. You know how we
My
do.
granddaddy bought this back from the Korean War. I also think that the internet really changed the way that music can be created because I've had certain collaborations with people where I'm not in the same room with them. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I've collaborated with people like I'll make a guitar track and send it to my friend and he'll send it back. Like they could be across the street, they could be on the other side of the city, they could be in LA. It doesn't really matter. You can collaborate with people across such a vast distance now that you never were able to do before.
Yeah.
Which not only makes the whole process of creating the music different, but it also gives access to again more ideas from other places that you just wouldn't be able to have experienced without like going to these places. So
Hmm.
I think it's kind of impossible to overstate the impact that the internet has had on literally everything from the creation of music to the distribution of music to music culture. Like nothing was the same after the internet. Like literally.
Right.
I mean, I can't even think
Yeah.
of anything. Like even the way that you find music, like you find music a lot of the time on YouTube now.
Yeah, lots of music, lots of great musical influence you find on YouTube. I mean, there's such a, let's say, a virtual world of instructors, just in terms
Mm-hmm.
of me as a singer learning how to sing better vocally, sustain a note, press press certain buttons on my computer to help me with make it a little beat or anything like that. Anything.
Yeah.
There's just so much out there. What I've started to do is get the nice ratio, the nice internet to real world ratio, because the internet has so much influence on you and your brain just soaks up all of it really, really quickly. If
Mm-hmm.
you just give yourself a concentrated amount on the internet and then you turn the internet off and you say to yourself, this is for the artists out there, for me as an artist, and now you say to yourself, okay, try to create what you saw in there out here. whatever it was.
Interesting.
You know,
Bring it out of the Matrix.
Yes, yeah. I think that's a new thing that I found just recently.
Tell me more about this. So what? So you'll listen to a genre, you'll listen to an artist for like, let's say like 20, 30 minutes, and then you'll turn it off and be like, okay, I've absorbed this. Now what can I make with it?
Yeah, I'm really getting into planning and seeing myself as a product that I can discipline more. So it's like when I start the day, I just have the thought in mind that I'm going to get a concentrated amount on the internet. So yeah, I'll listen to music, but I'll do what I regularly do as well. I'm going to look at a reaction video, see how these guys reacted to this, find a new reactor, you know, see what I can probably bring into my channel or what's going to influence me to, you know, do whatever I do. Listen to another new singer, whatever. Watch an old movie, all of that in like a certain amount of time. Let's say like if it's a day off or some time off, 1.5, 2 hours, you know, soak that all in and then just stop yourself. Okay. Like, and now, okay, so what do you do for a living? What do I do for a living? I don't watch TV for a living. I'm an artist.
I see. So because you can consume, because the internet is all about consumption, right?
Yeah.
So you can consume there's an infinite amount of things to consume on the internet.
Correct.
So at some point you have to put up a wall saying, I'm done with the consumption. It's time for the creation.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But it's funny you're talking about reactions. Well, speaking about just even what we're doing right now, how we ended up with this. I mean, we obviously, if you know our main Side After Dark channel, you know we do a lot of reactions. And it's like, even that has exposed us to so much more music that we never would have, even with the internet.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So even that's just a whole other aspect that might not affect everybody, but definitely affects us. I mean, we've definitely had songs that our people on Patreon have made us react to that we've loved, that have influenced us further as musicians that we never would have found out before.
Right.
Even with all the tools that we have. Like, it's just another way of the internet making music more accessible in a way. I never even really thought about it that deep until right now, to be honest.
Yeah. I love when things just spring on you like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So thanks for using your time on the internet to consume whatever we're doing. We appreciate it. Now turn it off and go create, okay? All of you, all right? I'm looking at you. You know who I mean.
Somebody sent me a Side After Dark pie. Create some food for me.
A pie?
What would a
Why
Side
not a
After
cake?
Dark... I don't know. I just thought of a pie. I wanted to say apple pie, so that's why I just thought of that.
But I feel like cakes are easier to like design. You know what I mean? Like, you could make the sad logo on a cake. I feel like it would be pretty hard to make the sad logo on a pie.
Yeah, no. I was... no.
Maybe a cookie cake.
Yeah, maybe a sprinkled... Oh, yeah, sprinkled the cookies on it. That's a Side After Dark cake. The cookie with sprinkles.
Sad sprinkles?
Yeah. I was trying to find an ingredient. 3 ingredients that would go into
SAD?
a cake or a pie. Yeah, like what's the S? I just
Sugar?
can't. Oh yeah, there you go.
You said what's the S?
Yeah, I did. I really did. I was thinking of savory things. I was thinking of the filling and not the ingredients.
So if I was making a cake and I needed something to start with an S, what would it be?
Sriracha.
Sriracha, apples. Well, maybe that's subconsciously. Maybe that's why you said apple pie.
Yeah, sugar, apple, and dough. There you go.
That sounds pretty fire.
I know. Yeah.
All right, so get on it, people. Anyway, thanks for being here. We're Side After Dark. We're Music Maniacs, and we'll see you soon.